Yes, Real Radio. The guest is walking in. We're shooting this live. Frei, come in. Do your thing. I'm a fake Jamaican. Get comfortable. You want to put the headphones on because that's the only way you're going to be able to hear me. You can hear my voice. Sounds a lot better when you got the headphones on. The mic is,
This is what I'm on.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to introduce this gentleman. How did I come across? So, hey, by the way, you're listening to Real Radio, and yes, we're live if it's a Friday, and it's 7-ish. Okay, y'all know I'm outside. I don't know how else to explain that. I am outside. I'm outside. It is what it is. I'm outside, and I'm not going to start telling people the places I frequent, but I be outside. There's one place I particularly like, been there, seen this dude behind the turntables. Okay, cool, what's up? Boom, boom, boom. Music is live, it's lit. But I'm saying that casually, just so you know, when he's out there, the skirts is out. I'm just saying, but okay, we just gonna act like I didn't say that. So cool. Somehow the internets are connecting the dots. I land on his Instagram page. Oh, that's such and such. Boom, boom. Okay, fast forward. Pandemic hit. You know what the wave was during the pandemic. I got a bike. You know what I mean? Whatever. You say what you want. I was one of those cats that brought the bicycle prices up. That's me. Yes. Thank me later. I find out about people riding bikes at night in Brooklyn. What's going on? Same homie. Okay. Turntablist. He just, I guess, likes round things that spin. I'm guessing. Not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Frei Speech in the studio. Frei Speech, what's good?
Oh, man, I like that, man. What's good, family?
Man, listen, I appreciate you coming here. The eye in the sky, my man Pierce, I call him the eye in the sky because he shoots everything. So, we're capturing this. This is a moment, I think.
Live, yeah,
I think.
I love it. Love it.
Let's jump right in. For people who have seen your Instagram page, who've seen you do what you do, who've seen you in person, heard your music, and we're going to talk about the bicycles too. But we'll get there. But let's start talking about even the way you present. You use your body, your movement, your music. You do things with clothes. All of that as a way of speaking. Hence free speech. Yes. What message are you trying to convey?
I mean, there's a few in there, right? One is the freedom of expression. That's important. I think also the idea that if you have an idea, you should express it. You should put it out there. I also think with, like you brought up the bike ride, the club, Night Riders, I think it's about community. And that's important to me, and in my way, like some people get that caught up, like I've got to serve it in the idea that seems stereotypical, you know what I mean? But
what do you mean by that?
Well, you may think I'm trying to think about something in a political aspect,
okay,
like, and I'm like, nah, the furthest thing from my mind is that I'm talking about go knock on your neighbor's door and ask them if they need something, or at least introduce yourself so they know your name. And so when times get a little crazy, and you hear, you could say, oh, that's Rob, or that's John that lived there. You know what I mean? More so than when people hear you service in the community, they think about something political. You know what I mean? So I just want to make that clear as how I show up for my hood. It's not like I'm necessarily out there advocating anything that nobody else can't do. We just gotta, act like you live around people.
So you're about that community building.
I am, but not necessarily like I'm out there just shaking hands, kissing babies. You know what I mean?
You're not running. Well, hold on, I'm stopping you. I heard you were the mayor of Bedstuy. I'm just saying.
Well, that's another aspect of it, right? Because I'm saying it like how I come across is doing what I do to make people say, that's like one of the mayors. You know what I mean? So
I ain't lie. You are the mayor of Bedstuy. Are they cheering for you right now?
It depends on where you at, because I've lived in many parts of Brooklyn. So somebody say Bedstuy, they may say Fort Greene, they may say Clinton Hills. Man, I service I serve is where I'm at.
Borough president.
I mean, there's a few of them.
Why did they call you that?
Why did they call me the mayor?
Yeah.
I think it's back to what I said.
Or was that? Did you give yourself that moniker?
No. You can't
doing
get
that. Okay.
You can't get that. You can't claim that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's also like, somebody calling themselves the GOAT. No, time will tell if you're the GOAT.
Some people call themselves the GOAT.
Oh, yeah,
and we found out.
But me and my boy
they meant the actual animal goat.
For sure. That could be possible.
It's all right. Curry goat's good.
That could be possible. But one of my boys, my brother actually, we had a good conversation about, people using the words GOAT and legend loosely. But when you look up legend, I must say by definition, anything could be a legend. You feel me?
Okay.
You got to go by the definition of the word, right?
Okay.
It's just like something that's being told in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the folklore when we use it in like colloquial language,
so if somebody,
we don't mean it in that way. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm saying. If somebody was to play on that, I can't fight them off of that definition. But now going using the word GOAT, and we know it's an acronym, right? The acronym is for the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. So you can't call yourself the GOAT if you don't put in that time. You understand what I'm saying? The time will tell that. You can't even call that yourself. You know what I mean? We go, yeah, it's been putting in work.
You sound like an old man right now. They're gonna say you sound old, and the reason I say that is because the youths, they be time. Their time span is not our time span. Their time span.
It's the same. They want to say that, but it's the same. It's the same. They don't get it twisted. Like you want to die old. Anybody that's telling me you want to die early means how you expect to be a legend if your time was so quick. We got one album, you got a single, and we supposed to say you the greatest. Like that's the argument. Even with some of the greats that passed away, like
there's a lot of Milli Vanillis out there.
I mean, that's inevitable in the music business, right? There's always going to be some duplicate of something that's not that, and then parts of that isn't so much Milli Vanilli. It's kind of like that's the process of the business. You know what I mean? Like somebody writing for you or teaching you choreographing something, or you know what I mean, dressing you or telling you how to move or how to present yourself in an interview. Like that's part of the business.
Well, you giving me the perfect segue. Since we're talking about the music business, there's something that you take part in called Producer Mondays.
Yes, sir.
What's that about?
Oh man, that's
you see, I'm outside though.
You are.
But go ahead.
It's actually my favorite night of the week. As a New Yorker, as somebody who's been doing nightlife for a long time, I always tell people the best time to go out and experience New York is during the week. The weekends.
I agree with that.
The weekends,
but I feel like you get to that appreciation, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like you get to that appreciation as an older person. Like as a by older I mean above 35. Am I lying?
I won't
if
say
you're 25, you chilling on the weekend.
But no? If you ask me and my homies, we've been doing this for since our 20s, since we were kids.
We've been outside, in case you didn't understand what he just said.
Yeah, I've been outside for a very long time. But I'll give you a breakdown of how that looks. So let's say we go, I'm gonna make up a name of a club. Let's say we go to Club Red on a Saturday, and it's a popping club. Everybody's there, you hear about them having the best DJs there. Saturday night, door covers like $60. And you're like, I'm making this number up, but let's just put it in perspective.
Oh, it's realistic.
They saying it's $60 cover, and then there's a bottle service line, right? So if you buying bottle service, obviously it's at least twice as much as the door cover, but that's automatic entry inside. You ain't got to worry about it. They're going to put you at a table, bring out sparklers, etc., etc. I'm just using a stereotypical way of how a nightclub may be in New York City, right? That club on a Saturday night, let's say on a Wednesday night, they got a party. On a Wednesday night, there's no cover. Same room, same setup, and maybe even possibly better DJs. And the reason why this is going on is because the promoters who are promoting this party are promoting to people like myself. You're promoting to people who are like, I don't hang out on Saturday nights. I'm probably working on a Saturday night. I'm doing the same thing that these people are doing, but somewhere else. So when I want to enjoy myself or network or get around certain people, this is the night to do it. This is also the nights during the week that artists go out. So that's why Monday nights I could have Anderson .Paak 2 weeks ago pull up in the spot because he's in town and he want to hang out, hear music, but he not going to some place where it's like premiered out. He's going around where he's mutually likes other musicians that he knows. It's like, yo, we gonna be over here. So
you telling all the secrets right now?
I'm not. I'm just telling you this is New York nightlife. So when people talk about why is it the week is better than the weekend, this is the jewel. The jewel of the week is that same club on the weekend is probably no cover or half the cover with more A-list people in there having a good time, because on the Friday, Saturday night, they're the headliners at that place that you're spending $60 to whatever plus dollars to get into. You understand?
I do understand, and this leads to another question that I had. So, from somebody who's been outside for a long time, been outside in New York City for a long time, dare I say Brooklyn also?
Yeah, for
sure.
For
a long time.
Sure.
Okay.
I started in Brooklyn.
And you're also a DJ.
Yeah.
Today, right? What does nightlife look like from your viewpoint, from behind the turntables? Because that means you've seen neighborhoods, venues, and transition and go through. Like, I could tell you how I experience this as a consumer, but I'm curious to hear your perspective from the DJ, the pressures or the non-pressures that come with, hey, why are you playing that? Play this, play that. You know what I mean? Like, what's that look like?
It depends on the room. So we got...
Give me best case scenario. Give me worst case scenario.
Okay, best case scenario. Tonight I'm about to play at Ode to Babel. For those that don't know, that's a spot on Dean between Underhill and Washington.
You telling all the secrets. Okay.
Black owned by two beautiful sisters. And I play in there, right? So they're open, or they used to be open, let's say more or less during the week pre-pandemic, right? So now let's put that on a Friday, Saturday night. On a Friday, Saturday night, you're allowed a certain crowd of people that weren't there on a Wednesday night, because this is the only time they get to come out. And in their mind, they're subject to the idea or the repetition of programming, radio, streaming platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Revolt, whatever your go-to of sourcing music and entertainment. They're constantly programming you, and I'm not saying this in a negative aspect, right? Because you could be watching something that's definitely positive, but the repetition of it is where you're going to source your base of what you're looking for or where you're going at, right? So if we take music on a general platform and we take all the major platforms that are around, they're going to push you the top 10, the top 20, the top 100 of whatever is bringing in the most consumer base. So that's Drake, that's Rihanna, that's Beyonce, that's whatever those top 10s are, right? And then you have all this under stuff, right? But they repeatedly push those people onto you and make you feel like when you go out, this is what you should be looking for. So as somebody like myself who discovers music on a broader scale, I may be reaching for music that's beyond that, or I may be influenced by the music that created the Beyonce, Rihanna, whatever the case is. But in your mind, you're only fixated on Rihanna, Beyonce, and whatever is being streamed and programmed on a repetition. So the audience kind of shifts on a Friday night is what I'm saying. They're more prone to be like, I need mainstream music, churn me up, whatever that is, by mainstream consumption to get into, as opposed to saying, I want to hear, try something different. They're like, nah, I want to
hear what I know.
I want to hear what I know. I'm programmed that I'm going to get lit to this.
So how do you experience that?
I experience it by knowing it, because I work in a service industry. This comes with experience. This is my profession. So if I'm going to play on a Friday night, I have to take that in consideration. Or if I'm in that room, knowing that's the room. Now, there's different rooms on a Friday night. If I'm at the Blue Note, completely different kind of atmosphere, but their turn up is different compared to.
So you play music you don't like sometimes because the crowd likes it?
No, I'm past that part of my career.
So
I don't take requests.
I just want everybody to understand what he just said, because if you ain't been around DJs who've been doing it for a long time, you have no idea what he just explained. What he just explained is, I can make you listen to what you think you like, and yet play something that is acceptable to me. I want y'all to understand what was just said, because y'all, if you ain't catch that, it went over your head.
I mean,
he's been in the game long enough to know how to maneuver. Go ahead, sir.
Listen, I tell you, last night, a perfect example. I'm in the spot, I'm playing some records. I know the records that I'm playing fall on people to make them go, ooh, this is making me think about this record, that record. But even when they come into me with requests, I'm not taking those requests. I know where we gonna go. Just
you stiff arming people outside the booth?
No. I let them get. They can get close to me if I'm in the room like that. But some places I go, they actually block off, so they go. No,
you got security out there.
I got security, right?
Understood.
But there is some places where, like, and I don't mind playing in the room where people are. It's tangible to me. You know what I mean? It's fine because I'm beyond I gotta consider. Should I entertain you? I already know if I'm in this room, I can entertain this room. At least 85 to 90% of this room, because I've been doing it long enough that my fan base is in here. The people that mess with me is in here. That will rock with me. That will show people who don't know what it is, right? That comes over time, right? I put that enough work in that people will say, all right, 20% of the room is Free's people's. So whatever he's playing, they know how he gets down. And the people that's not familiar will quickly understand that within 15 minutes of my set, because they'll go, oh, this is a move. This is what they'll call a vibe.
A wave,
right? Right. So then, back to what you're saying, though, I'm engaged.
So it doesn't sound like you experience it. It's not what I want to hear.
I'm not nervous.
No. Far be it from me to put that on you, OG.
No, but I'm saying
let me make myself real little.
No. But I'm saying it for the people in terms of trying to understand how I could be in a room and let somebody come to me and say, "Oh, play such and such," and I go, "Relax, it's cool."
Yeah, I see you at
work. Not even get mad.
You could disarm a thief.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm not supposed to make you feel bad.
You could disarm a thief.
I'm like, we okay, we all right, we okay. And if you ask me, do you take requests? I say no, I don't take requests. You know what I mean? Because I know where that goes. You know what I mean? I've been doing this long enough that one request leads you to be like, now you're gonna sit in the booth.
You're gonna get a list, bro. You finna get like a playlist.
Not only a list, you want a co-pilot now. You want to give if I have no mic, you want to talk on the mic. You might want to reach over and touch the fader and so what I was saying is that happened last night. I'm playing some records and this girl is enjoying herself.
Trying to touch the fader?
I could tell she's enjoying herself. And at one point,
is this a white woman?
No, she's black.
Huh?
She's staring at my screen, right? This is a very interesting part. And I had, it was all love after we talked about it. But she's staring at my screen and she sees something that she liked. And so she shoves me and starts pushing. And I'm going, there's a better way to approach me saying you see something or you hear something. I'm still at work. And she's like, "You're right, my bad." And I understood. She's excited, but I was like, sometimes people take it for granted that I'm actually doing something. You feel me? Like they think I'm just pushing buttons.
No, you're working.
Like I'm really working. Like this is like going to a bartender, and while he's making a drink, he always goes, "Wait a minute, let him get one out before he can go. All right, I'll take your order," because he's really working. And some people they feel a type way. Like I've watched people look. I used to manage a restaurant, right? So I watch people look at the bartender, or even me being a bartender, be like, "You don't see me?" And I go, "I see you. I'm telling you, I'm making a drink right now. Give me," you know what I mean? But people never have that understanding, right? Because on the outside of it, they just want what they want. So, once again, DJs, bartenders, we work in the service industry. So you can't get too caught up in your own opinions and ideas. You're here to provide. It's Friday night. Don't walk in that venue talking about I'm about to play some Aretha Franklin and it's not a hit Aretha Franklin and expecting people to be cool with it. Like, it's Friday night, Papa. You gotta.
So subtle flex again for those who don't understand what he just said. His booklet, his palette is wide enough that he can adapt to the room and still play things in his repertoire.
In other words, don't take that gig if you're not built for that Friday night, knowing that they want to churn up and they want to hear all the hits. Don't take the gig. You know what I mean? Don't even psych yourself out, because you may do yourself a disservice. They're liable to go, "Nah, I don't mess with you." If you want to be like, and you don't need, you make that one impression. You know what I mean? And so I think, because we live in a very instant moment where people's like, I can start DJing tomorrow and be what I be.
Yeah, they got tools out there that can help you to do.
You gotta you got, even with all of that, you got to remember you're still engaging people. So that human instinct is different. You understand? You're going to be in that room and thinking you got all the right records. They go, nah, we don't want to hear that. We want the complete opposite. Like you thought we wanted Drake. We don't want Drake.
But see, you went all that. You went for 15 minutes. You still ain't answer my question.
Nah.
What are the people? So you've seen the different waves of people that have come through your events.
For sure.
From the DJ booth. Who's out there now? Besides, and I'm not even talking about the people who are already fans of yours or they're already consumers of what you do. You also see the new wave, right? So what are you seeing
in terms of
people quality types? Be judgmental for a little bit.
I think people
stereotypes are welcome.
I think
in this
people
answer.
are more they're more demanding because they have devices that allow them to say, you should be playing this, you should do this. It's simplified the idea of what this person is really doing. If we're just talking about DJs, right? It's simplified the idea of, wow, you really transitioning records that from one record to the other, which are completely different records, have nothing to do with each other. You're allowing these records to go from one record to the other, and I can continuously keep dancing. It's not like I got to stop to get into the groove. You don't see that as an art form. You just see it like, well, I play music right on my phone just quick. Why can't you play it this quick? You understand? So that's the main kind of people you see now. They disregard the idea like, wow, you really playing record. Because they go, I got music. Why don't you have this record? And they go, you know what I mean? And they can't fathom it because then they look at their phone and they go, I have it right here. See it? Play it from here. Play it. And you go, that's not how this works. You don't see all this equipment. This is an instrument. I'm actually mixing. I have to go from one record to the other, and I have to keep somewhat of a continuous groove so you can keep dancing. Otherwise, you're gonna stop and stutter and look at me and go, what are you doing back there? Right? So that's the main kind of person you see. A person that's disrupting you because they don't understand the musicianship of what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because I seen it done and it looks easy. You know what I mean? Like, think about the average girl who's pretty and thinks she can model, and she doesn't know there's physical labor in it. You know what I mean?
You mentioned a lot of women. Are women the biggest trouble? Are women the biggest the biggest annoyance to DJs?
They're the quickest to approach DJs. Because, you know, let's face it, some of them are programmed to think because I'm cute, you should play what I want to hear. Some of them are programmed to think if I tell you it's my birthday, you should play what I want to hear. Men don't ever come over to me like batting their eyes or smiling at me talking about, yo, you gonna play my record, boo?
Some could.
They could, but most don't. You know what I mean? Even men that enjoy the company of men don't approach me like that. They rather go, yo, you doing your thing. Could you play X, Y, and Z? It's only women that kind of fancy it with some kind of like, let me show you, I think you cute, or they smile. And I'm generalizing, right? Because not every woman approaches me, but there's women that approach the DJ very much like you're interested in him beyond him DJing. Right? So he's now entertained by the smile and the batting of the eyes and the little twitch or whatever, and you're like okay. And then she comes with the, you should play, or you know what would be nice, or it's my girl's birthday. Anything to make you feel sympathetic to the idea that if you don't play this, you're a very bad person. Right? Where men is like, yo, what's up with that record, yo? And then that's them letting you know you should put that on. Men don't go, yo, play this record. If they do, they usually go, yo, my man, what you drinking? Right. Or little cash in your hand, yo, when you get a chance, put my joint. Because they go, you're not moved by the fact that I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm generalizing.
Applaud us for being professionals at this.
It's very few.
And I'm talking about the men, thank you.
It's very few women that'll go, here, honey, hold this. When you get a chance, it's my girl's birthday, can you play? No, they go, I'm cute. My girl is having her birthday. You should put this record on so we can dance, and that's gonna make this party lit. A lot of them just, and they may not even verbalize that, but they feel like that because they're gonna go, you want cute girls dancing in the party, right? And
we here for that. That's why the men spend the bread. Right.
So they're already done the math. Playing what I like is going to, and I go, I get that, so I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play music that I can entertain the room, right? Like, If people really listen to how I play is I like to tell stories. So I may play a record that men can repeat and sing, and then the record after it is women can repeat and sing, and then the next record might be all of y'all could go ahead and sing this song, right? So it's kind of get this conversation going. So if I watch women sing Little Kim, they gonna sing it like they Little Kim. You know what I mean? They're gonna say, take it in the bud. I'm like, okay, y'all lit. And then, you switch that to a Jay-Z or a Cameron, hey ma, they go, what? All the dudes in the spot, let me talk to you now. Let me, even from a visual standpoint, you could look at the room and watch how men will hold their drinks and not directly talk to one woman, but I'm talking to you because this song is my time to talk to you.
Slide it in there.
Yeah, so I think with women, going back to the whole approach about requesting records is, you should do that. It's me. You know what I mean? Look at me. If I don't dance, the party is not rocking. You know what I mean? And you
pretty much.
I hear you, mama, but I've been doing this long enough that I can keep you rocking. And when you come over with the request, I kind of diffuse you, and then you come back to me later about, oh, the music is good. I ain't gonna front. You doing your thing, because I've been doing it long enough to go, I know, ma, you want to hear this, you want to hear, but let me do it in a way where I can work it in, because we got all night. Like, shout out to DJs that are patient. You take your time. You don't go on set and you go, the hottest record right now got to come on at 8 o'clock. Like, you did yourself a disadvantage.
You whack if you're doing that.
Well,
question.
Let's not even say whack. I'm gonna just say you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm gonna say, the reason why I say that
you're
is because
being nice. I'll talk from a consumer standpoint.
Okay.
You whack. Let me ask you this question: vinyl or CDJs?
Vinyl. But at the same time,
you don't even need to explain. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's Real Radio. Freeze out here. If you're not listening live, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to listen to the podcast. Tell me I don't do this. Okay, free speech.
Yeah.
We spoke about the music, DJing style. Spoke about what you see behind the turntables. We spoke about your Producer Monday move. Two things I want to touch base on before we get out of here. The riding of the bicycles at night. The I gotta read this because you made a soundtrack full of original beats for cooking, cleaning, long trips, lovemaking, and I'm not making this up. This is literally what's in the ad of the man's thing. So we're gonna talk about that. Before we get there, something we just mentioned. I'm drawing it. Okay. People who follow you, what's your Instagram page? You might as well
Frei Speech,
do your plug.
FREI Speech. So it's free with an I instead of two E's in speech.
Okay. People who look at your Instagram page, they see you do things to these clothes, B. you I mean, it's not like you're sewing the clothes together, but you're just sprucing it up to the kicks too. I seen the kicks. The hats. Am I lying?
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So backstory is I'm an artist. I came from the art world. When I was a kid growing up, that's what I did actually to make money. It's painting on clothes. I would, somebody give me a jean jacket, I would paint Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, whatever you want on it.
Always wondered, can you dry clean that and still be
you gotta use fabric paint. Back in the days, I used to use acrylic paint. So it worked, but it would crack a little bit. We weren't dry cleaning our clothes back then. We couldn't afford that.
Yeah,
young kids.
As an adult though.
No, as an adult you'd have took care of it. You know what I mean?
I hear you talk.
So I made a little bit of money off of that. Actually, that's kind of like how I really made money, because when I was young, I couldn't get a job. That's a whole nother conversation. But
by the way, Real Radio policy: once you come in, you can always come back. So we come back, have episode 2. But go ahead.
Yeah. I started doing this thing recently during the pandemic. I wanted to paint, but I didn't want it to make it stationary. I didn't want to paint on a canvas and then have to show it to somebody by having them come into a space, because one, it's the pandemic and it's too stationary. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be able to show my art or express my ideas, but in a way where I don't have to worry about where I would hang it or where would I put all these pieces. So it came to me like a vision. I was just like, I'm gonna start, buying like blank shirts or sweaters or sweats, or I would buy sweats and then dye them and cut them, and and then I would start drawing on them or painting on them. I started seeing these landscapes, because going back to the whole bike riding thing, I designed the logo, and I was designing some of the apparel for the next season, and I had this idea, what do you see as a biker when you're riding? And I was like, the back of the rider. Like if I'm in a car or if I'm behind a cyclist, I'm looking at the back of your shirt. And I'm giving away a little secrets here, but it's so significant that if you could create something visually back there, it's definitely the greatest marketing tool you could have if you had cyclists. So for example, if I was Coca-Cola and I designed some ill logo on the back of the shirt, and you just gave it out to t-shirts, we would all get this visual. It's almost subliminal for people to go, I need a soda now. So if you paint any of those sceneries like I've done, it's like this landscape that I usually create with a sun, and it's serene. But I started to create that because if you're biking, even if you're not in front of that, for somebody to see that from behind kind of creates that portrait in their mind of that's where I want to be.
Plus, from behind takes away the face of the person, which makes it more about what you're looking at and less about the person.
You understand.
I've been doing this.
You understand. So I started painting on clothes and expressing things, whether it was words, colors, visuals, and friends of mine started seeing it, and they started asking if I was selling stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm still just trying to create art, because I know because I'm wearing it seems like it's something I should be selling. But if I go back into the mind of any artist, when they made a painting, they don't try to duplicate that painting over and over again. They do it one time and it's done. So right now I'm working on trying to put together a show,
a fashion show.
Not a fashion show, an art show. It looks like a fashion show because it's on
It's clothing. Okay.
But it's actually just where I wanted to make the art present itself. So if I gifted somebody with something, it'd be one of one. I don't duplicate it. It's all done by my hand, whether I dyed it, I drew on it, I painted it, and I kind of feel like that's the next level. If you've been into clothes like myself for as long as I've been into it, that you would go with it. It's all pieces, collecting art now. It's not, I need a whole wardrobe. Like, you would never see me turn around and make a whole new wardrobe. I've got clothes that extend beyond the idea of wanting a wardrobe now, vintage pieces, there's a pair of Yeezys here, there's Jordans here, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, do I really need to go and shop for a whole new look? Nah. But I see something and I go, I like that. A shawl, kind of like sweater, or a dope hat, or a pair of brogues, or some Oxfords, or some loafers, you know what I mean?
I hear you talking.
You know what I mean? So those things make you go, oh, I don't have that in my collection. So now I can wear those things and have this feeling of uniqueness. You know what I mean? So that's what the freehand is.
When is this going to be on display?
I'm working on that right now. I have a few more pieces I got to finish, and then once I get those done, I'm going to,
What timeline? Give me a timeline.
Before
the end of summer.
Before the beginning of summer, I'll have a show. Okay? I was originally going to have a show tonight, being that this is Fashion Week, but I canceled it because I realized I need more time to finish some pieces. I just got an airbrush recently, and I'm doing this kind of thing where I'm mixing airbrushing with real paint, and not real paint, but meaning like textured paint, and so it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun.
Okay. So that's a transition now, because we were talking about the logos on the back of a bike rider to the bike riding that takes place at night.
Yes. Night riders.
And then you mentioned like you don't like art that's stagnant, so clearly you're into movement somehow. What's up with bike riding?
Bike riding is perfect, man. Ladies, real quick, bike riding is a cheat sheet to exercising. Listen, you want to go to the store, you hop on your bike, it's 3 miles from your house to the supermarket or the boutique, 3 miles back, you just did 6 miles.
What's a boutique? I'm just saying, go ahead.
Right. Let's say store.
Yeah.
Let's say store.
Bodega.
But that's 3 miles in, 3 miles back. That's 6 miles you just did without even trying to. And I'm not talking about riding hard and you all suited to boot. I'm saying cute. Do it cute. wear a nice little dress outfit, put the basket in the front.
Dress on a bike, that's
I'm
dangerous.
saying.
Sometimes we be getting caught up.
No,
and
no,
if
no.
you behind, and I don't know if she got a big butt. Sometimes
these things can happen.
I'm just saying.
So a dress might
I'm not
be
complaining personally about it.
The dress might not be the look depending on your build, but listen, taking that bike ride during the spring and the summertime is worth it. You like, oh, I mean, I've watched so many girls in my club go from, their figure to being like, oh, that's your figure. That's your figure. Oh, that's your true size. You didn't know that was your true size, huh? That's your true size.
So you saying we should be joining your club now?
I'm trying to tell you.
What's the name of the club?
Night Riders, spelled with a K, Riders with a Y. And it's beautiful. We're working on season 3 right now. Shout out to my fam. Shout out to my team. Reds Wins, Straight P, Frazier. We're building something this spring and this summer that I think our goal is to make riding something enjoyable for the casual person. Even though we have different rides, like we have a hard ride, we got a medium ride, soft ride. We try to mix it up, right? Long distance rides, a fast paced ride. We try to do these different things, but at the same time, we try to cater to the average person. Like even if with our apparel, we don't want to make stuff that's like you got to look like the super cyclist. You know what I mean? That's not fair. Some people are just getting started on the bike, so we try to do this community thing where, like, we ride at night because it's a little bit safer. There's less cars. We ride in groups that are large enough that we take over. You can always hear us riding through the streets talking about rolling. That's how we go through the lights and stuff, right? And we about having a good time, and we, for lack of better words, we the flyers on these bikes.
Say less.
You know what I mean? Shout out to the Line 3 bikes, customization. Yeah.
Oh, we getting customized bikes?
Oh, we got customized bikks. Line 3 is the squad. You know what I mean?
I had to stop the music for that.
I'm just saying.
You saying all the secrets right now. We getting customized bikes.
I'm saying Line 3 bikes is the squad. If we talking about you want to get your bike fresh, and I'm gonna give you a little jewel about customized bikes. People be worried about your bike getting stolen. You should worry about your bike getting stolen if it looks like every other bike. Customized bikes are the hardest bikes to steal because it's significantly different. So here's a thief's mind. I'm seeing this bike. It's definitely.
I gotta be able to sell it.
Who gonna take this bike off from me? And where am I gonna ride this bike without somebody being like, that ain't your bike? And I can't prove it's my bike. I can't say, oh, this is a Cannondale. It don't say Cannondale. It say Free on it.
Don't steal it from the mayor. That's what I gotta tell you.
You know what's funny? Real story. This happened one time. I let a friend ride my bike around the block, and like less than 2 minutes before he left the block, somebody texted me. It was like, I see your bike.
Yo, who that? Hey, who that? Yo.
and at that point, I realized I was like, yeah, I'm good. I ain't worried about nobody stealing my bike.
Oh, shoot.
It was that quick.
So before we close out, I want to make sure I touch base on this. A project that you released, I want to say sometime back, which is full of original beats, and that's why I was mentioning in the description, because you mentioned that this music is made for long trips, love making, reading. What else you mentioned? Hold on, I wrote this down because I was like, what? Who advertises their soundtrack like that? Cleaning, cooking. And it was based on a film. What film is that? So does that film involve? And because the film says, or at least the ad said, it's a true story.
Yeah. So See What You Hear is the project you're talking about, and See What You Hear is a project that I've been working on for quite some time. It's something I shelved it for a little bit just because again, we were talking off air about visual support and needing those kind of things. But it's a concept like a day in the life of me doing some things.
What's so special about you?
It's not me.
Why do we want to watch it?
It's really about the idea of what I'm going through in terms of trying to create this project. So if you ever saw the movie Rockers, this would be somewhat in that vein.
Okay.
But just from my point of view, looking at things. And so the soundtrack was created because I was like, I want to tell a story, and music has to go along with that story. So I created the soundtrack before finishing the movie, and I figured people would enjoy the music because to what I wrote as a description, all those things could be fitted into the music. Like, I don't make music necessarily like how people think, oh, this is gonna be a hit in the club. And I talk to working producers or artists when they work on projects. I go, don't always think your record has to be on the radio. Think about your music like where's places that music is everywhere. So think about places where people would enjoy music. Elevators, the dentist. You could be making hits if you
I
just
keep it real with you. I used to manage a DJ, a Brooklyn-based DJ. Big up the DJ Center. And one of the places we were trying to plug his music were these services who make elevator music or store music.
I'm telling you.
Because if they pick up your track, first of all, you get a check.
That
but
rotation is crazy.
The rotation is
like we're talking about streaming right now.
Now
right?
we just told secrets.
No, it's okay. I love giving jewels. I don't think anything should be hidden. If I learned it,
he's a nice guy. I'm not. I'm charging.
I feel you. I've learned it, so I feel like I'm gonna give it to somebody so they can apply it and multiply on it. That's just my whole thing, right? Because I'm gonna use it. I'm applying it now, so I know that works. What you said is very true. Like you got to think about streaming things. Like this is program stuff for like department stores. Like when you used to think about the mall, there's certain places, Victoria's Secrets, like their music is coming from a service that they just push play and let that run.
Nobody presses next.
That's it. And if you get your music in that, you go, I got a check. Like when you start making that kind of money, you don't really worry about radio or anything. You just start making music, and whether people like it or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that's the best place to be as a creative. When going back to the thing about me making freehand, the reason why I can make the stuff that I'm making with the clothes is because I'm not doing it to make money. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. You know what I mean?
You sound like you should have been on Real Radio. That's the whole concept of this podcast, bro.
I really enjoy it. You know what I mean?
So, before we finish, I want you to do a self-plug again. Let the people know where they can find you, stalk you, see you outside, ride with you, see those clothes.
That's the first part, but guys, the first part is just seeing it, because pictures are one thing, but I think if I put a show together and you could see it up close, you go, oh, okay. Right.
So do that promotion. Where could they get that info?
I say just go to my Instagram. I don't have an official website right now. I'm working on that, but if you see Frei Speech, FREI Speech, and that's also a hashtag. It's been around for a little bit. FREI
subtle
Speech.
flex.
I'm just saying. So you can find me. I'm here, and if you talk about tonight, I'm at Ode to Babel. Shout out to my brother Mike Flo. We do this thing the second Fridays every month at Ode to Babel. That's 772 Dean Street, Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Marvin and Miriam. We in there tonight, 9 o'clock until about 1. Heavy Rotation. You can find us on Instagram too. That's Heavy Rotation, spelled correctly with BK at the end. Nothing too clever about that. And yeah, I'm on Instagram. I think that's the best place right now to find me and connect with me. If you want to hit me directly, I do look at my DMs, but none of that funny stuff.
Hey,
I see people trying to all the scammers breaking into people's pages lately, talking about you could win Cash App this. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all all right now. If somebody's in your DMs and they ask you questions like I need help or I need your help, it's a sign.
A sign of what?
It's a sign. It's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
The minute they ask, I need your help. I don't care if this is your friend. You have to think to yourself, why would my friend ask me for help on Instagram?
That's not your friend.
That's not your friend. So that's a jewel for anybody out there right now. If you worried about getting somebody into your DMs and messing around, the minute they say, yo, can you do me a favor or I need your help, close out, X out, hit unread, and then delete the message. And the reason why I say do it in that process, because automatically it shuts them down.
I don't think you knew that when you listened to this show today that you would get some Instagram advice.
It's true though. I watched it. I was like, yeah, this is what everybody gets caught with. They go, I need your help. Because I've had dialogue with some of them, and then they get to the point where they go, I need your help.
I'm gonna need that bread, B.
And I go, nah, this is a scam. This is because it's usually not somebody who I speak to on a regular, but I seen you or I know you, but I'm going, you don't never use your Instagram. So then I go, maybe this is real, right? But then I found out when they start asking me for some kind of help, I'm like, nah, you wouldn't ask me for money here like this. You be like, let me call you.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If you don't know who the mayor is, the borough president of Brooklyn, Frei Speech. I'm just saying. And if you want to get the plug, holla at me. I charge you.
You
though.
got the plug. That's how I got in here.
I charge you. I charge you to get his info, even though he just shared it. But just listen to what I'm saying. I am a scammer. You've been listening to Real Radio, man. Free, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
You, King.
Yo,
this is great.
Open door policy.
I had a great one, yo.
Listen,
I'm gonna have to pull up on y'all again or something. You know,
pull
what
up.
I mean?
I dare you.
With a 6-pack of
pull
ginger
up.
beer.
Oh my God. Listen, Real Radio Podcast on every single platform. Real Radio Podcast.
Get with it.
On IG. Real Radio Pod on Twitter. I do this like I do it for TV, but that's just the New York thing because we are not really on TV.
He's really good at it, though. And y'all should put him on TV.
Hey, I will charge.
Give him that moment. Give him that moment.
Pierce is the eye of the sky. If you're looking at me, it's thanks to Pierce because he makes me look good.
Shout out to that brother.
Hey, we've been doing this, sir. Open door. You come back when you want.
I'm definitely
bike,
coming
no
back.
bike. Turntables you want to get behind here.
Listen, I'm gonna come back. I'll do a guest set.
I could die tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna come back. Y'all got my word. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna do a guest set. You know what I mean?
This is how we gonna end. I got nothing else to say. Thank you.